very talented young people who have decided to follow.
Then another year it starts again. Well, this is different.
We shall definitely be talking to those wonderful people. Once again, we urge you to share the feed on Facebook.
Hi there, I'm Faida, and today we're going to be talking about the African diaspora in Mexico.
Whether UK likes it or not, I have to leave this country.
I became a member and the chief of the Vice Lord all in one day.
All these guys wins right out of the north at Midway Airport.
His father.
Rice and beans. Okay, kids, we have had to come to an end. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Progressive Mind Show. My name is Senna, aka Alinko. This is your #1 community building show in the world. Every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. we're here. I would like to take the opportunity to announce that from beginning next year, we'll be doing a show from 6 to 8. It will be still 6 to 8. The day is going to change to Tuesday. So please take note of that. We always want to encourage you to be part of this community building platform. Anytime we come on live, we encourage you to share the feed so we can all be part of the conversation. This evening, I am already joined with our great co-host, Angie Mims. Will be introduced. We'll be seeing her shortly. Before we go into the reason why we're here this evening, which is the Prestige Wellness Foundation team, who are going to be talking about the organization, the great things that they're doing. We will take Captain Mike's segment. Right after that, we'll get into the conversation. Captain Mike has been, I think this week has been fair. Nothing as cold as some of the days we had last week, but I'm sure you have some updates for us. Please go ahead, and then we can talk to our guests.
And you're not gonna like it. Tonight, right now,
let's hear what you got.
36 degrees, light winds out of the northwest, so not too bad tonight. Let's go back into the rest of the forecast here. So tomorrow, high of 41, lower 40s, light winds, not too bad. Now Friday, you're gonna have a mixture of rain and snow. Highs are gonna peak about in lower 40s, little windy as we get later in the day, and that's gonna carry on into Saturday, where you're not gonna get any snow or a wintry mix. Should be all rain, but we're still gonna get some precipitation there, and high of about 41. Getting into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's pretty much we're going to have the same pattern of lower 40s, mid 30s, not too bad. Tuesday, possible chance of rain into Wednesday. We're going to have that same snow rain mix possibility into Wednesday with the windy conditions. So not horrible, but not what we really want. But for this time of year, not that bad, speaking. Going into sports, tonight, the Wizards are going to be playing the Bulls right here in Chicago at 7 p.m. So if you get a chance, take a look. In the health and fitness, yes, it's that time of year again. It's the cold and flu season, so we're going to talk about flu. What is flu? It's influenza. It's a respiratory illness that is spread by tiny droplets through the air, or if you touch certain surfaces and you touch your nose, touch your mouth, there's a chance you can get it. So what are some of the symptoms? Fever, chills, coughing, sore throat, runny, stuffy noses, body aches, headaches, fatigue, and if it's really getting on the bad side, maybe some vomiting and diarrhea. The recovery time typically somewhere between 2 to 3 days, but shouldn't take any more than 2 weeks. If it does, contact your doctor or your healthcare provider. But there can be serious complications with the flu, so that's why we don't want to take it lightly. Possible inflammation of the brain, your heart, your muscle tissue, and possible multi-organ failure. Highly unlikely, but possible, so keep that in mind. How do you prevent it? Well, one, CDC recommends getting a vaccine, your flu vaccines. So go to cdc.gov, find out where you can get your flu vaccine. Some of them are free, some of them are lower price. Get a vaccine. Stay pretty obvious, but stay away from sick people. If you see someone coughing, hacking, sneezing, kind of stay away and wash your hands frequently because we all pretty much touch our noses, our faces at some time unconsciously. So try to stay away from that. And if you do get the flu, there are some antiviral drugs that can make the symptoms feel a little less. Stay home. Don't give it to anybody else. Stay home for at least 24 hours after that fever kind of goes away on its own. You don't have to take any fever reducers. So with that in mind, once again, go to cdc.gov, Centers for Disease Control.gov to get some more information about the influenza, cold and flu season. And with that happy news, back to you, Cena.
Thank you so much, Mike. We really appreciate the updates. We will be going straight to our guest this evening. What you got going on for this weekend, Captain Mike? I know you get busy, but any exciting things coming up?
No, work.
All right. So I'm sure it's just like that for everybody, right? Work, work, work.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it because I end up in Florida, so I kind of get the miss all of the initial snow and rain and stuff.
Also, for the next 4 days, for the rest of the week, all the way through the weekend, you'll be in Florida.
No, that's part of it, but I'm going to avoid it as much as possible. So Florida and West Coast.
Okay. I think I like your kind of job. Hopefully, we can all get that type of job so we can move into warm areas to work every now and then so we can get away from Chicago. But brother, thank you so much. Wait, talking about Chicago, the Bears though, guys. I mean, I saw your comments on Facebook and I laughed, Captain Mike. People are getting tired of the Bears, but you know, who's a Bears fan here? Angie, you are not. Maureen, no. Okay, the Africans are not Bears fans.
I'm a Giants fan.
Okay, we'll take that.
My tolerance for disappointment is pretty high.
I'm a Giants fan, so my team is doing a little bit better this season. You know?
Okay,
I don't know about the Bears.
Okay, well, we'll see.
They're better than Green Bay, I can say.
Okay.
Well, you know, the Bears, they were founded in Decatur, right there where you're at.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So you're responsible for this.
Yeah, there's a whole big billboard about the.
Okay, we gotta go, guys. Captain Mike, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
I'll watch the rest of your show. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for the updates. Today is December 12th, and we're going to be talking to these beautiful people who are representing Prestige Wellness Foundation. Angie is my co-host this evening. Angie, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well. I'm so excited. I'm not really doing well. My student died, got shot last night, but I'm doing okay because I know that, you know, people like those who belong to the Prestige Wellness Foundation are going to be able to provide us with some very useful information that I can take back to our community so that we can make a difference. So I'm okay, but I'm excited about today's show regardless.
Yeah, thank you for that update. It's unfortunate what's happening in Chicago, what has been going on in Chicago in terms of gun violence. I heard about it too. And so
yeah, that's my student. Yeah.
We extend our condolences. I don't know what. Let's talk about the show because this is a whole, thing, the whole big issue that can take over our conversation this evening. And so, I think that we are all in agreement that we have to go down on our knees more and pray for the city of Chicago. It's a great city, but it's been struggling in this regard. So. People like this, people like, we experience these things every day. So Angie, once again, condolences. Let's try and get to know our guest this evening.
Yeah.
We have now I think Future is the first time on the show, so we appreciate you coming. MWENYA, and MAUREN. We've always it's about the second or third time. So you're once again welcome. MWENYA, let me go here. See here. 1 second. Okay, so MWENYA, Wayne MULENGA.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on the show. Can you please take a moment to tell us, greet our audience, let us know a little bit about who you are.
All right. Thank you so much for having us on your show again, Sana. Greatly appreciated. My name's MWENYA, Wayne MULENGA, and I'm a nurse by profession. I'm an RN BSN, and I'm one of the co-founders of Prestige Wellness Foundation and the board chairperson of the foundation. Very happy to be here and looking forward to this interview.
Great. Thank you so much for the brief intro. Let's go to, we should have started with the lady, actually.
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say anything. I got you, Miss MAUREN.
I know, right? It's all right. Okay. What's the mic already?
MAUREN, it's yours.
All right, thank you so much, Sena, for giving me and my team this privilege to be on the Progressive Mind show. My name is MAUREN Shavers. I'm based in Chicago, Illinois, the part of Waukegan. I have a background of nursing, and I am a chief executive officer for Villa Holistic and also the Prestige Home Care Nursing Clinic in Zambia, and I'm also the executive board director of the foundation, which is the Prestige Foundation, and I am also a treasurer for the foundation.
That's a lot of hats you're wearing, and so thank you so much. Future,
I definitely cannot follow MAUREN's hats and whatnot, but my name is Future MPUNDU. I'm an IT profession with emphasis in software applications. I'm part of the Prestige Wellness Foundation, and I am the president of the foundation.
Thank you so much for, again, another brief intro. Angie, doesn't he look like an IT professional?
An IT professional or a candidate for presidency.
Oh, okay.
Love that.
You just hit me with the Kanye. Hey.
To be honest, I think MWENYA looks more like a candidate.
you gotta have the Kanye somewhere.
And then, well, gentlemen and ladies, this is a great evening to have this conversation. Let's get to know more about Prestige Wellness Foundation. Before that, I don't know. I mean, Angie may have a word or two for one of you or something. But Angie, if you do, please go ahead.
I do. I did get the chance to go to you all's website. Very informative. Very, like, how do I describe it? I love the work that you're doing and what I've read about. And so I wanted our listening audience to, know how you all got started, what made you say, okay, we need to do something. So just provide us with some background context so that we can know how, Prestige Wellness all came about.
Well, I guess this one will go to, now we have the opportunity. So the lady will take it.
That opportunity, Sena.
So, right. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity, Sena. Prestige Wellness Foundation started from Prestige Home Care Clinic, which is based in Zambia. It was founded by the three of us, which is myself, MAUREN Shavers, MWENYA, MULENGA, and Future. It actually started in 2019. So for the last 3 years, the clinic itself has been functioning under our personal budget, which is the three of us have been funding the clinic. So when we started the clinic, initially, we had a vision of actually having the opportunity to have the Zambian people experience the kind of care that we have here in the United States. So when we started the clinic as a home care-based because we were thinking of actually having an extended care that can be provided in a home. That's where we started from. But looking at so many things that have come through, a lot of information and areas came through, and we started digesting on those areas, and we involved the nursing, which is the nursing assistant. We actually started having the clinic with the nurses, the physical therapy, and the physicians oversight that have been actually operating the clinic in Zambia.
Thank you so much. I'm sure MWENYA, for the purposes of this conversation, MWENYA, would you prefer MWENYA or Wayne? I'm used to Wayne, so I don't know if...
Yeah, either doesn't. Yeah, Wayne, MWENYA, either. I'm okay with either. Yeah.
That, man, you're one of my best guests. So some people are cool, some people are like no, gotta be like this.
Either.
So I'm sure you have some context to what MAUREN has already shared, to this beautiful story that you guys have. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So just to add on, it's so funny how the whole story started, because I still vividly remember MAUREN calling me, and because with us doing business together, she knows how we think kind of like alike. She's like, you know what? I just realized, do you know that they don't have caregiver services in Zambia? And I'm like, oh, really? So we started doing our research, and then for sure we found out that yes, there was no caregiver services in Zambia. So we're like, okay, that's a good thing for us to start. We involved Future in, and we're like, oh yeah, this will be a good partnership. Then we started being bombarded. People started coming to us and saying, please, there's also this shortage here. There's also this shortage here. So when we looked at the bigger picture, like MAUREN has already alluded, we then realized that the need is actually really, really huge. There's a huge gap in the healthcare industry in Zambia that we saw with how much we've contributed to the American health system as nurses. We were like, okay, this is something that we should take up on and see how best we can help out our country, which really made us who we are. So yeah, so just to add on to what MAUREN said, that's where the whole story started from, and from that we then started expanding and expanding.
Okay, no, that's beautiful. And approximately it's been running for how many years? I know you mentioned it, but if I may get
3 years.
3 years. Awesome. Future, do you want to add anything to what I've been said so far?
I mean, I can add a brief synopsis of what I remember happening. I know MWENYA and MAUREN are healthcare professionals. I did have a little stint in the healthcare myself. So when Wayne approached me, I was like, hey, we're trying to do this, and your IT expertise could be, a good partnership, because I used to support EMRs at the hospital I worked with. And then so from there, I was like, yes, I'm down. So it began, we did, as MWENYA stated, we did a business analysis report to see what was going on there. We also reached out actually to the government to see how we can partner with them. And from there, that they advised us, like, I think you guys should just go on your own. Once you go on your own, people will come to you. And people have been coming since then.
Thank you for sharing.
I got a question though.
Yeah.
So when you all pretty much said, like Wayne said about MAUREN, you guys were kind of in sync. You guys were like on the same thought pattern, right? But what was actually happening? I see your mission statement, and it says, the societal needs of underserved Zambian communities. What was actually happening in your community?
I can explain a little bit what has been happening in the community. I think if I remember very well, the experience that I had was the level of care in Zambia was just something that was unbearable, because I think in 2019, I lost a sister that I actually went to take care of, and I could not get any help from anybody. So that itself kind of opened up just experiencing the customer service, the care, the agency, and just the way the culture was in Zambia was something that, we based our ideas and vision on, where we could actually improve what is going on. Because people in Zambia, mostly, or the nurses or the doctors, they do not have the agency that we have. And we felt like, they don't have that part of responsibility to the patients. So the patients are not really taken care of the way we take care of them here. So we thought of it that, if we opened up a clinic, we will have that opportunity to teach, to educate the importance of a patient. And, just knowing that, caring does not just start from medication or, whatever treatment the doctor is prescribing. It's just that relationship that you have with the patient before you attend to them.
Yes, I could agree, because here you do have, some attributes that I always look for in the healthcare profession, which is compassion, and respect. And sometimes we do notice, I don't know how it is in Zambia, but here in the Chicagoland area, people have done certain things in the healthcare industry for so long, they become numb to it. Meanwhile, the patient this is totally new, it's perhaps traumatizing. So I do like the fact that you have compassion and respect and excellence and partnership and good stewardship. So thank you for putting that on there. And thank you, Ms. Maureen, for answering my question.
Thank you.
Great response. Thank you so much, Angie, for a brilliant question. Future, if I may ask, how long have you are a Zambian too?
Yes.
And you've lived in the United States for how many years, if I may ask?
Want to say 22 years.
Okay, 22. Maureen, I'm sure over 10 years. MWENYA as well. MWENYA has been here forever. I know he was born here. No, but the reason why I asked this question is, I mean, we've all been here. Me too. I've been here more than 10 years. And when you really look at it, and I think this is what a lot of Africans, continental Africans in the diaspora should be paying attention to. We see all the opportunities here. We see the basic social amenities, infrastructure that are here that we lack back home. And I think majority of the time, our focus stays with chasing the American dream, chasing the dollar, acquiring more homes, acquiring more assets, shipping them back home, and not really paying attention to the needs that can be met. And so I say this to say that it's really inspiring and encouraging that you all are giving back in this way. And that is why the subtitle of this show is Diasporans Giving Back to Africa, specifically Zambia. And I know that what you have started in Zambia can trickle down to Uganda, to Zimbabwe, and other countries, around, And so it is my hope, and I know that's a vision that you guys have. It's very, very inspiring. And I hope that a lot of Africans would copy, and not copy, but do things such as these. Having said that, one of the things that you're doing with your foundation is to provide for the orphanage, over 900 capacity orphanage in Lusaka. Lusaka is the capital of Zambia, for those of you who don't know. How did you discover this orphanage? What moved you to try to support this orphanage? Let me start with MWENYA, and I'll go to Future.
Okay, so we actually supporting there's two. There's Open Arms Orphanage and Community School, and Iwananji Community School. So all these schools, pretty much the majority are orphans, like So right now, the biggest campaign that we're trying to do is these kids have never, ever, ever had Christmas before. Like they've never celebrated Christmas. So we've been supporting them for several months now, where we provide monthly food supplies to sustain them for the entire month at the orphanage. And also, other than that, we also have some families that we have adopted, families of the elderly that really don't have any supports. They don't have any, they've lost their children, they don't have any means of working and stuff like that. So we have been running, part of our outreach program is the one that we're doing, the monthly food supplies. So to get back to the campaign, we were approached by the people who are running these organizations, and they said, really, we are struggling. We are really, really struggling. We thank you that you guys have stepped up, and it's really helped us a lot with the monthly food contributions that you're doing. And so in the conversation, I was like, okay, this is like the festive, we were like, this is the festive season. And we asked for, what do you guys do for them for Christmas? They were like, really, there's nothing. So we're like, so you mean to tell me these kids have never, ever experienced any Christmas, like the Christmas spirit and stuff like that? And we're told no. So we sat down as a team and we're like, okay, can we be the people who are going to make that change? Can we be the people who are going to help these kids have their first ever celebrated Christmas, where they will have a Christmas meal, where they will have like games, fun, Santa, like toys? Let's make that memorable moment that will forever be in these kids' lives. So that's where the campaign started from. And so we decided, after putting all the logistics together and stuff like that, a total of about 900 orphans are the ones that we are targeting to help make a huge difference in their lives for the rest of their lives, and just have them experience that first Christmas. I mean, if we all look back, from the time that we were very young, we still remember the first Christmas when we were able to like remember, you know, that excitement. And even as adults, even now, we still have that excitement. But can you imagine not ever feeling that, not ever experiencing that, because there's just no means. So, and that's where we say that, yeah, I think it's time for us to change things, and let's start by starting from this year, and moving forward, it will be an ongoing initiative.
What very, very powerful. I've never heard any community or kids in Africa not ever getting the opportunity to celebrate Christmas. So this is a very powerful story. It goes to say that Africa is doing well. There's a lot of opportunities in Africa. It's a thriving continent, but there are also challenges, and this speaks to it. So God bless your heart for doing that. Angie, I don't know if you have a follow-up.
Well, I think that was really good to hear in regards to, you know, putting concentration on those children who have never had a positive experience like that. I think that's really notable and noble, because we'd be surprised if we took the time to really investigate, because I work in education, you know, to see just how much kids are suffering, not just medically, not just mentally, but also when it comes to resources. So thank you so much, Wayne, for that. I really appreciate that. The only other thing that I would ask in that particular vein is, have you ever experienced challenges that made you reconsider giving back so much? Because you all are constantly giving, you're using your resources, I'm sure, as well as your intellectual property, you know. And was there ever a time where you're just like, you know what, this is more than what I thought I signed up for?
I know I can speak for myself. It does get overwhelming sometimes, you know. But when you look at the lives we're changing, you see how worth it is. I can shed some light a little bit back on the orphanage and MWENYA. MWENYA has this girl who's extremely intelligent, and she wants to become a nurse. Sometimes she has to skip school. Let me back up a little bit. So MWENYA is a community school, which is based in one of the underserved communities in Lusaka. And most of these kids are being educated by people who just want to help. Most of their parents are either alcoholics or are just non-existent. The kids don't have any formal structure of parentage. So they started this school to help out in the community. So there's this one kid who's very, very educated. often she has to skip school because she needs to go sell some either mangoes or tomatoes so that she has enough money to go back to school. So giving her a Christmas gift just to uplift her spirits, like when the chips are down, everything's going to be okay, makes a huge difference. And that's what makes it worth the while, even though it can be stressful and overwhelming, you know.
Truly commendable.
How are you getting funding for your for your foundation? Maureen. Okay, go ahead. Future.
So let me share another background story of how the foundation started and how we're trying to get funding. So I'm part of a group called CAP MKE, which is in Milwaukee. It's African professionals who get together to network and whatnot. So one of my colleagues there reached out and said, hey, I have a pastor who's wanting to set up an NGO in Zambia. Can you assist? To which I said, I've never set up an NGO, but I'm pretty sure I can help out. So me and the pastor arranged for a lunch, and we got together. He asked, so I'm looking for somebody who can help out. We have a mission, but we're also looking for healthcare professionals to help out when we do the spiritual mission. They also do the, you know, the physical and mind, whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, because me and my colleagues actually do run a clinic in Zambia, so we can provide that aspect of physical that you're looking for. He got very excited. He was like, oh, God put me in your way, and he prayed about it. And later in our conversation, he said, so you're doing a commendable thing. How are you funding this? I told him, out of our pockets. And then he said, well, God put you in my way because I help set up nonprofit foundations. Wow. There's a lot of money here that goes to initiatives like this. That's how things started. And here we are. And then now we're reaching out to various organizations to donate to whatever cause we run.
That's a very powerful story. Thank you so much for sharing. It's 6:33 p.m. Central. We are talking to Prestige Wellness Foundation, and what we are zeroing in, what we are also looking at in this conversation is diasporans giving back to Africa, in this case, Zambia. And so if you're interested in supporting, actually, you should be encouraged to support. You can go on their website, prestigefoundation.org. Is that correct?
PrestigeWellnessFoundation.org.
I left out wellness. Thank you. PrestigeWellnessFoundation.org. Make your donation there. As the show progresses, you can also call or send in your comments to motivate them at least, because this is so selfless. It's not easy to add this responsibility to the already stress that we have to go through in this country. And so they need your support in any way. And we will take a short break. When we come back, we will continue the conversation with Prestige Wellness Foundation. Each time I like to take a break, then this things freeze up. Whilst we try to get a break, Angie, any comments so far?
Well, one of the things that I noticed that I really love, because it is a serious subject, and we're all living in times where, you know, there are many challenges and stuff. But, you know, the sense of humor here is like bubbling, you know, but we're trying to keep it contained because we're talking about wellness. But I like that. Who wants to go to a place where your people that are helping you can laugh? Yeah. You know, so I really like that. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure that Senna will work on, you know, his points of allowing ladies to go first, you know. That's really important.
On that note, we shall be right back.
There is a cry. Aglo Bolingbrook Lighthouse is a network of caring women We are a dynamic global movement with a single mission to see God's purpose fulfilled on earth as it is in heaven. Our mandate is every nation touched and every heart changed for God. We invite you to our prayer meeting every Saturday and breakfast meeting held every last Saturday of the month from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. via Zoom meeting. For more information, please contact Dickness Rebecca Modi at 630-297-1471 or Reverend George Ofe Ado, our advisor, at 630-414-9505. We look forward to having a refreshing time with you in the Lord. Thank you and stay blessed.
In my heart.
Thank you so much for staying with us. This is the Progressive Mind Show. We are here every Wednesday from 6 to 8. Next year, God willing, we will be moving our day from Wednesday to Tuesday. This time still remains the same, 6 to 8, but it will be on Tuesdays. And we are working hard to bring you very engaging and powerful topics, conversations that are designed to impact our lives and change our societies for the better. We always seek your support. You can visit our website, The Progressive Mind Show. As a 501c, we will really appreciate your donations, which you can also use for your taxes, which is coming up, which is around the corner. We know Christmas is coming, but reserve some money for us, and then you can spend the rest on your Christmas activities. It's been encouraging so far. Let me ask Maureen, does the Prestige Wellness Foundation do any projects in America, or your main focus is in Zambia?
We are focused in both the United States and Zambia. The only reason why we have not really done a lot here is because the foundation itself only started 2022, right?
Yeah, about 6 months ago.
So we really the focus was more like in Zambia, but then when we started working on the foundation, we have some things that have been put in place so that we can actually be able to balance between Zambia and the United States, because we do know that even in the United States there is a lot of needs that can be made, and we can be able to bring back to the community what we need to take back to the community.
Okay. And then just to add on to what Maureen has said, so currently we have partnered with the Ghanaian community, and they have that the second Saturday of every month, where we do a free clinic.
Yeah.
So we have partnered with them as part of the clinicians from Prestige Wellness Foundation. We have partnered with the Ghanaian community monthly clinic, and we're helping provide free healthcare. So pretty much people can come, they are going to get free healthcare, starting from assessments and then being seen by a doctor, all the way to even connections to a pharmacy that is going to help out, schedule for labs and stuff like that. So that is an initiative that we have that we're currently partnering to give back as as clinicians, and also for the healthcare aspects of things, improving the healthcare of the people in the Chicagoland area. We have other projects that are in place, which we are trying to partner with food pantries, where we'll be able to provide free screenings, health screenings, as people come for to get food at the food banks. We're trying to partner with the local food banks and stuff like that. So then that way we are also able to help provide free health screenings. And then for those people that we find to be maybe like borderline hypertensive or needing further follow-up, we can easily refer them to the free clinic through the Ghanaian community. So that will be a win-win situation, because we'll help with providing the free health clinic, the free health screenings, and also help with referrals on where they can go for the free health care.
Thank you so much for a great response. I've actually attended, I think, a couple couple of the free health care events you talked about, and it's very well planned and very useful. Like you said, you get to see, having, a lot of a few that I've been to, they check your blood pressure, a few things here, but this is very all comprehensive. You get to even talk to a pharmacist, see a doctor, there are nurses on board. So it's a great initiative, and I'm glad that you guys have this partnership going on. Are there future goals, but tell us some of your maybe just a few of the goals that you have for Zambia. Perhaps you may have larger ones that extend to neighboring countries in East Africa. Zambia is in East Africa, no, South.
Central Southern.
Awesome. Are there some future goals that you want to share with us?
So maybe let me start with some of the projects that we're currently working on.
Awesome.
So other than us having the clinic, we have the outreach programs. Mm-hmm. So under the outreach programs, that's where we're doing the monthly food donations. Mm-hmm. We have like about 5 adopted families, and then also the orphanage, which has over 25 children. So we're supplying food supplies for the entire month, and we've been doing that for a while. Then we have also a major project where we are acquiring medical supplies and equipment here in the United States and shipping them to Zambia. So then that way we are donating these supplies to clinics and hospitals, because we have a lot of government hospitals and clinics that really do not have supplies. So even if the team, the clinical team would want to put in their level best, but they just don't have supplies. I mean, we're talking of basic supplies that here we might even take for granted. Things like normal saline, things like Foley catheters and stuff like that. So we have done the first donation, which we just shipped to, was that last week? Yeah, last week.
November 20th. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that was the first shipment, which would also like to take this opportunity to thank the donors that had donated these supplies and medical equipment, and also the donors who donated in helping us make it possible to ship these things to Zambia. We're still reaching out to healthcare organizations, hospitals. Instead of throwing out some of these things that they don't need, these are things that are really, really going to benefit a lot of people back home in Zambia. So we are appealing for more donations for supplies and medical equipment, and then also helping us with the shipping of these things. The other project that we're doing is we are also in the process of acquiring ambulances, because again, we're talking about underserved communities. So it's very difficult for people to find access to go to the hospital, to a point where you find for someone to end up going to the hospital, they would have been very, very sick because they just don't have the means of getting to the hospital. So part of our plan is once we acquire these ambulances, it's easier for us to have our clinical staff go in and provide home health services in these underserved communities. Long-term goal is right now in Zambia, we don't have the 911 system like we have here in the United States. So if you have an emergency, it's either you have to depend on, if you don't have a car, you have to depend on a neighbor, or worse still, you have to depend on public transportation. And now we're talking about an emergency. So our long-term goal is we are going to be the first foundation that is going to help create a 911 system in Zambia. So that's part of where the acquiring of ambulances project is starting from. So first, we'll be able to go into the communities, the underprivileged communities, and take the care there. The screenings prevent people from getting very sick, because once we go in, we announce here there's an ambulance here, we are able to then go into this into their homes. But then also it's twofold. When there's an emergency, we'll have extra ambulances that will be able to provide those emergency services. I mean, it is very sad. You can't call 911. You're having a heart attack. You can't call 911. It's that bad. And when you look at the mortality rates because of situations like that, it's very sad. People are dying when people are not supposed to die. So that is one of the biggest reasons why we picked up on starting with this ambulance project. The other project is obviously right now the clinic that we are currently at, we're just renting. And so it limits us. We want to expand. There is so many services that we can provide at the clinic, and we've already started proving that. We cannot expand. For instance, we're looking at adding a radiology department. We cannot expand and put in an X-ray, like an X-ray department, because we're just renting the property. So one of our long-term goals, in fact, it's actually a short-term goal, is we are trying to acquire land in Zambia and then start building. We'll start by first building the clinic and then start expanding. Our ultimate goal is to build the first level 1 trauma hospital in Zambia. The whole country does not have a level 1 trauma hospital.
Okay.
So you see, and again, this is the severity. When you look at, wow, the whole country does not have a level 1. And when I say level 1, I'm talking about the type of level 1 trauma hospitals that we have here in the United States. You have an emergency and a helicopter is coming and picking you up, things like that. So the ultimate goal is to build the first level 1 trauma hospital, which is also going to be a teaching hospital, because we're also going to have nursing schools, and students that are graduating from there will have that opportunity. Even physicians, we're going to partner with universities. Doctors will be able to come and practice from our hospital, because it's really going to be major, and everything will be there to make it easier for people to practice. So
brilliant.
In a nutshell, we are about to revolutionize the healthcare industry in Zambia.
Amen to that. Is it fair to say all this thing is speculated to be done in the next 10 years?
Oh no, that's way too far.
Okay.
yeah. If I tell you within the 6 months period that we started the foundation, the things that we have already achieved.
I was going to follow up with that question. So go us and tell us your accomplishments within the 6 months.
Future, do you want to chip in on that?
And then because of time, so we can just make it concise for us.
No, you're the expert in healthcare. I'd rather you.
Okay. So right now, what we have achieved at the clinic, we really, when we started, we would only see about 2 to 5 patients in a week, in 2 weeks. Which is an already existing clinic that you have adopted. Yes. So at our current clinic, which we have already started setting up the American standards of healthcare, we are now seeing over 100 patients in a week.
Prior to that, what was the number?
So that's what I was saying. Prior to that, like we're even talking about 3 months ago, we would all see on average like 5 patients in a week. We have almost, I don't even know how many times, 1,000 times gone past that. And the numbers are still growing, because people are coming to the clinic and they're seeing that we are talking, when we talk, we are following up with what we are promising. And that's exactly what we're doing. That's number 1. Number 2, the families that we have adopted, the orphanage that we have adopted, that is a major achievement. These are people that did not know where the next meal is going to come from. And now they can sleep comfortably knowing that at the beginning of every month, they have a decent meal that is coming. We've successfully sent the first donations of the shipment, like I told you. And again, this is just within a short period of 6 months. And this is 25,000 worth of medical supplies and equipment that is going to help a lot of people. So we've managed to achieve so much within a period of 6 months since we started the foundation. So yeah, to answer your question, we are looking at, in the next 1 year, a lot of things are about to happen.
If you are able to build a first level trauma or first trauma level, the name that you just said, right?
Level 1 trauma hospital.
Okay, level 1. Okay. That name, whatever it is. I'm sorry I'm butchering the name, but if you're able to do that in the next 1 year, Zambia should make you their president.
Okay, so let me make a point of correction. Long-term goal,
Yes.
the level 1 trauma hospital in the next 5 to 10 years. But right now, the short-term goal is to build our own clinic, have all these departments that we can easily have and manage, like the laboratories, radiology, and stuff like that.
Awesome.
That's the short-term goal.
Awesome.
So the short-term goal within the next 1 to 2 years is purchasing that land and building the clinic. Then from there is where we'll start expanding. So it's like phase 1 will be the clinic, and then we'll now then start expanding to a point where now we get to that level 1 trauma hospital.
This is a very powerfully, you can already tell the plan is laid out. Yes, Angie, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I'm just erupting with proudness. Like, I trained you guys to do labs and stuff. Like, I am so proud because, you know, you've grown exponentially. You stated that, you know, it was 5 patients in 1 week's time to now having over 100 patients. You were able to receive and, you know, give back when it came to saline and I think you said catheters and things like that. On top of the fact that, you know, we here take advantage, you know, when we can call 911 and they send an ambulance, and here it is in other countries like Zambia, where, you know, if you have a heart attack, a stroke, God forbid, or something that would, you know, naturally cause you to have help, you know, to not have 911 ambulance services, you know, and so to hear you say that you're going to take an aggressive approach to make sure that you're able to have these types of resources made available to our sisters and brothers is phenomenal. It is absolutely outstanding. And so to hear that, you know, makes me erupt with pride, you know, because you're in the trenches, you're doing the work, and you're making sure that people know that you're partnering with other people to support. And so I want people to know, those who are listening and the listening audience, that, you know, Prestige Wellness Foundation is out here really giving it their all, and they're doing it from literally having to see and experience what it's like to not have anything, and then yet to witness such growth. I'm sure blessed by God.
Thank you.
This is wonderful, Maureen. It's we only have about 7 minutes to go, but of course, you know, we have some wiggle room to, you know, touch on some things that we may have left out, or comments. We definitely have a few comments on that. Yeah, Angie, please.
Yes, so I did want to acknowledge Andrea Graham. She says she's watching. And then here we have, was it DG? Can you put her comment back up? She says, indeed inspiring. We need to build more outreaches in our African diaspora and go beyond our individual communities and countries. And so that's really, you know, paramount to hear that you're trying to do it both in Zambia and you have goals here for the United States as well. So thank you so much, DG, for that comment. Tita Bundamina, I hope I'm not butchering your name. But they say very encouraging work that you guys are doing. Well done, you guys. It's really inspiring to see Africans looking out for one another. Absolutely. I concur. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the comments that have come in so far. Like I said, we are 6 minutes we only have about 6 minutes to go. It's the Progressive Mind Show. We are talking to Prestige Wellness Foundation, and we're looking at Africans giving back to the diaspora, and these are a great example of that. So we want to encourage everyone to support them. Support, you know, support can be in any way. You know, it could be hello, hey, thank you for what you're doing. We need to encourage people in the African community to do that a lot more. Okay. And I'm sure you guys can attest to it. Future and Maureen, hardly do we find support for initiatives like this by fellow Africans, right? If we were to invite them to come and eat at, maybe just come and eat some free food, yes, Africans will show up. If most Africans, I mean, this is the hard truth. I mean, here it is. if you invited them to come to a funeral and they know there's going to be some meat and drinks, they would come. But
Black Americans too, honey. Black Americans. Black folks.
I think that a lot of times we have to be able to take these initiatives and support. And if we are not able to do it, at least show our support. Caller, please tell us your name, why you were ringing in, and thank you so much for chiming in this. Getting in touch with us. Go ahead. Caller, please tell us your name, why you were ringing in.
Yes, my name is Kenyi, and just want to say thank you for presenting this program today. Talking of African coming for food, inviting them, I want to remind you how I connected you with MWENYA. So as Africans, if we can do that, remember we were working at the radio station, then I approached away. So let's continue doing this kind of connection,
Yes,
so,
yes.
I'm happy to see you guys presenting here now. I'll keep supporting in all ways that I can, and you all know that you can always reach me if you need anything. It's my area of expertise. Thank you.
Yes, that is very true. He invited me to, I think, your first, not your first, my first Zambian event was, I think, a barbecue. Barbecue, on the north side. And subsequently, I've been to your end of year parties. Great community, great people. I don't know why you always do your parties all the way in the north suburbs, and I have to drive all the way. I don't like driving too much. I don't like driving for a long distance to eat, just to go to a party. I like to, anyway, yes, DJ Kenyi, he's the guy that you just read his comment, Angie. Kenyi is a great guy. He's of course a DJ on the side. He's a party promoter, and on the side, of course, has his professional career, but a very grounded and great guy. So if you ever need a DJ or party promoter or anything like that regarding the community, very, very resourceful. He's worked with a lot of great politicians in the state and in the city of Chicago. So he's a very great guy.
Wow.
So DJ Kenyi, thank you so much for chiming in and for your support. And he's always been supporting the Progressive Minds events. And actually, this exchange, he was a DJ that played at the exchange. So awesome guy. Well, since we already have only a few minutes, Angie, I don't know if you have a question, because I have one or two follow-ups.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that our listening audience will be able to reach out and connect with you. This is a very, like I said, noble endeavor that you all have taken on. And so I am a church girl at heart. And so how can people connect with you to donate to your organization? We want to be able to promote Prestige Wellness Foundation and all of your efforts. So how can people connect with you and donate to what it is that you're doing?
So people can donate through our website, which is www.prestigewellnessfoundation.inc. They can also donate through our Facebook page, which is just Prestige Wellness Foundation. We have a Zelle, but mainly we want to be, I want to say we want to be transparent. So the website is the best way to go, but we'll take donations whichever way you can. Please follow us on Instagram as Prestige Wellness Foundation, and to keep up with the real-time initiatives we're working on, and mainly that.
And then also, sorry, I just also wanted to mention, we are a 501c3 organization. So whatever donations that you make, you'll be able to claim at the end of the year on your taxes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So people can get in contact with Prestige Wellness Foundation by going to www.prestigewellnessfoundation.org. You may also donate through that particular website. And I'm sure that once you reach out to them, they will also provide you with alternative ways that you can make donations. And so I am very much so honored to be able to meet all three of you on today's show. You have been nothing short of a delight.
Great. Thank you all so much for great feedback, the responses, the information, the questions, the comments. the encouragement. My only take to, again, the African community, to the African community, the entire African community on the continent and here is this attitude of supporting each other is very, very important.
Yes.
Like I said, I've been to I've been to a lot of African events, including the Zambians, great people, great food, and I've seen a lot of people. What you are doing is to the benefit of Africans, benefit of Zambians. There are a ton of them here. I would have wished a lot of Zambians at least saying kudos. Hey guys, great job. It would have been great to see that. Hopefully, after the show, or as you go along, and I'm sure a lot of Zambians know what you're doing. Hopefully, they will go on the website and donate $1 at least, or just throw their weight in support of what you're doing by giving you some words of encouragement. That's all we're asking. That let at least pay attention to some of these good causes. And I'm sure a lot of Zambians know about you guys in Chicago. But I hope that a lot of them are supporting. And if they're not, this is one thing that I encourage Africans. We don't do well in these things at all. We fall short in this area. This attitude of selfishness, this attitude of just let me go find mine. It doesn't, as long as it's not me doing it, I don't care about it. If it's Maureen, that's Maureen's business. But these things are not to the benefit of Maureen and MWENYA and Future. These things, the benefit of probably even your relatives who are in Zambia.
Yes.
And so there is no point that we can support. You know, we can donate to Red Cross. We can donate to Ukraine. I'm sure if there's a campaign going on for give money to Ukraine for the war, I know Africans who put money in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so
that's right.
This thing that we have been doing and have not been doing well is detriment to our own integrity, our personality, and to the great people that we are. It doesn't speak well of us. It doesn't make us look good. And so this is my encouragement to fellow Africans that we needed to be supporting this. And I hope that as you keep going, guys, you would get all the support that you need. And this is very, very dear to all of us, our hearts, Angie and I, because we see what you're doing, and this is the things that needs to be done. Look at what you just shared. You want to build, this huge hospital, the teaching hospital, and doing this in Zambia to take care of millions of people. You want to put up the first 911 ambulance in Zambia, and which the country does not have. How? A whole country does not have an ambulance system.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then some few Zambians in Chicago wants to take this, and all those great Zambians in Chicago are not supporting you, guys. I hope they are supporting you. And if they're not, we probably have to do a whole show here. How Africans need to support causes like this, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But that said, I really I'm encouraged and proud that you guys are doing what you're doing. And on that note, I would like to Maureen, let's hear your last words. This shows about you guys, so let's hear your last words. I don't know, Wanya, if that was your closing remarks. We have a few. We've gone past our time, but it's okay. We'll take the opportunity to get a few remarks, right? I mean, your closing remarks. Let me put it up. Your closing remarks. Maybe there are some things that you wanted to get out there that we missed or you guys missed. So let's take that. Let's do that. And I'll start with. Let me start with Future. We'll come to Maureen, and then Mwanya will close us.
Okay.
Future, go ahead.
All right. Sounds good. Let me just say, as Africans, whether it's career or giving back, we need to do better. I think most Africans, when we get where we want to go, we feel like we own a pedestal and everybody else just line up. We have to start thinking about generations that are to come. We need to stop living in the moment. A lot of people live in today and don't worry about the next people that are coming after we're gone. I want to leave this world better than I found it. And the only way to do is thinking of not just myself. I just want to clarify a little bit. There are ambulances in Zambia, but they're for the elite. That's why we're trying to give back to the underserved. The elite, yeah, have access to all that. They can get it, but the regular person, nah.
Pastor Alenko, you are on mute.
No, I was just saying thank you, Future, for the correction.
Yes.
Really appreciate that. Maureen, please.
Thank you, Senna, for my last thing that I want to say is just like you mentioned earlier, when we come to this country, we look at the country as a land of opportunity. And we work so hard to earn money and, live comfortably, buy houses, home, cars and all that stuff and just live a good life. But at the end of the day, when you really look at life itself, what is your purpose in life? That's my question that I'm going to ask everybody. What fulfills you? Is it a car? Is it a house? Is it a Mercedes Benz? What is it that fulfills you? For me, I think the bottom line is my purpose in life is to be of service to another person, especially my country, because I know where I come from. I know what is there. I go there pretty much every year. I'll be going there in a few weeks, and I know the struggles of an underdeveloped country. So if we are here in the United States and we've had an opportunity to better ourselves, like Future also mentioned, we should also think about the generation that is going to come after us. If we don't fix this for the generation that is coming after us, then, what would be the purpose of even being alive and breathing and accumulating all these beautiful things and only enjoying by yourself and cannot extend to a person that cannot have what you have?
Thank you so much. You see why I wanted her to give her last words?
Yes, but I dare not forget that you let Future go before Maureen again. And all this royalty is sitting here in your face, Pastor Alenko, King and you put Future before her again.
Sorry?
You gotta let the ladies go first.
Oh, yes. Angie wants to make sure that point is driven home. How about make up for that and have Maureen all by herself on the show? She's just listening.
Yes, don't forget about my royal sister now, please.
Thank you for having my back, Angie.
Santa, don't go to a barbecue and pick up a plate first, man. Let the ladies eat first.
Thank you, Future. You know the future.
Yeah, you know the future. Oh, thank you so much. Well, Angie, thanks for the correction and the reminder. Maureen, I got you. But yeah, MWENYA, and as you give your closing remarks, I want you to tell people how they can be part. First of all, if you want people to be part of this and how they can do that.
Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for according us this opportunity to come on your show and using this as a platform. On behalf of Prestige Wellness Foundation, would like to urge each and every one of you. We have shared the vision that God has blessed us with, but we cannot do this by ourselves. So we are appealing to each and every one of you, find it in your hearts to help us by donating. Like we said, we have the major fundraiser that we're currently doing to make a difference in these kids' lives. At $10 is going to go like you don't even have a clue.
Yeah.
So, but in general, we have all these programs that we have in place. We are appealing to each and every one of you to find it in your hearts to help us by donating. You can donate by going to www.prestigewellnessfoundation.org. You can also go to our social media pages. We are on Facebook, Prestige Wellness Foundation, and we're also on Instagram, Prestige Wellness Foundation. So thank you so much for your time, and may God bless each and every one of you richly in everything that you do.
Thank you so much, MWENYA, for a brilliant closing remarks. Angie.
Like I said, I really enjoyed this, and thank you all so much. I'm on the website now trying to see how I can do what I've asked others to do, which is to donate. So again, I just really appreciate you all sharing how you got started and letting us know how we can be of a support to you in the work that Prestige Wellness Foundation has in store. Dorcas Fury says, definitely have my support. Yay, thank you, Ms. Dorcas. Dorothy says, noble course you are doing. May Jehovah help you go through and accomplish this mission you have started. Jehovah Jireh, our provider, may he provide Prestige Wellness Foundation with all they need and much more.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey, we got some Zambians after all.
Yes, amen. Thank you.
Hey, that call was important. No, but yeah, thank you all for chiming in, for those who contributed. And I know there are good hearts there. They're great Africans. We are all great. It's just that I think we've lost our way sometimes, and we focus on a lot of things, and we lose some of these very important things that we need to pay attention to. So it's just a wake-up call for all of us. Let's bring out the greatness out of us, and remember that greatness is not what you have, but it's what you give, and how what you give impacts, improves, and lifts up people. Okay, so that is the most important thing that God has placed in all of us. On that note, I want to thank my guest, my great guest, MWENYA, MULENGA, Future, MPUNDU, and MAUREN Shavers. Of course, my great host, Angie Mims, for helping to make this show a success. Next week, Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m., we'll be here. Remember, next year, God willing, is going to be from 6 to 8 on Tuesdays, not Wednesday. 6 to 8 on Tuesdays, not Wednesday, from next year. And we are praying and working hard to bring you very important, even more important. No, I would say even more, everything we do here is important, but even more insightful and uplifting topics, stories, and events, as we continue to build our communities. Remember to support Prestige Wellness Foundation, and they will be, and you'll be a blessing to their cause. My name is Senna, aka Alinko. This is the Progressive Mind Show. Remember, to whom much is given, much is required. See you next week, and God bless. Bye-bye.